Hey, what's going on? Deal Surgeons, Elite Masterminds, what's going on? This is Diamond Life. So I'm doing a review on ICT Macro. Now, this is why I just got in at, but I see I actually missed a big move, and this is something that we got to take a look at. Now, you understand the macro. This happens every hour. This is kind of exciting now to do this because this is 750 to 810. Okay, so if we look at the candles, you have to look at the order block. Okay, this is the order block. You have to look at the gap. So what I've been noticing is that price will do this here doing a macro, but now I see it starting to do something else, which is taking out a high first. I was looking for my little drawing tool. So what I'll see is, like, if this is a make this a little lighter. If this is a gap right here, and here's the macro right here, I will notice that price will come down into the gap and then take out an existing high or an existing low. Okay, so let me explain this. All right, let me delete these real quick. So this is what happened here. I missed the big move. It worked out for me, but I missed the big move. Okay, so here's the macro right here. So when 750 came around, I saw that price would probably take out this high. Now, this was a short move, only 8 points, but I'll show you the big move that I did miss, because now I'm starting to see that the macro, I should be looking for price to take out a high and then go lower versus just looking to fill in the gap. A lot of times I've been looking at this stuff, and this is on oil, but it would fill in the gap and then take out the previous high. That's the move I'm looking for. So I'm not going to beat myself up too bad because I followed the rules. I have to find the nearest order block, and it's either going to fill in that gap, okay, the fair value gap, okay, or it's going to hit the order block and then take out the previous high. So this is what it did. So I got in right here, and then it pushed back down. I got in again, and I just got out here. This is a short move, but this is scalping. It's only 8 points. But I see now I missed the big move, because if I would have betted on price to take out the high, okay, here, do a double top. It actually took out, it's a double top here, and then it took out this low. This is the move I'm looking for. Let's say this was a gap right here. Let's say this was let's go ahead and use a drawing tool. This is exactly what I'm looking for doing these macros. Let's say it was a fair value gap up here, right? This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to come up and fill in this gap. If this was a gap right here, when I look to the left, we didn't have a gap. Okay, when I look all the way to the left, all I seen was a double top. And I guess we did have a gap right here. Let me see. No, we don't. I don't see a gap. We don't have any. I mean, these candles look kind of crazy right now, but we didn't have a gap, so I'm not going to beat myself up too bad. But now I have to see that during the macros that we have a high that could be taken out, and then the low will be taken out. Now, sometimes you can't always go for the wick low. You have to go for the body close low. You see that? You see how I took the body close low? It didn't take the wick low. Or you can either get out of consequent encroachment or the body low. But a lot of times it will take the wick low, but you can't really depend on that all the time. Because you see right here, if you would have been holding, you would have, been SOL. Okay, so this is the move that I did miss. Next time, the next macro, I'm going to look for the high to be taken. And then price will come down here and take that low. Now, you see with the macros, they run in one direction. Okay, what is this, 70? I would say between 802 or between 2 and 4, it'll run in one direction. Okay, let me pull out my, I don't know if you guys don't see my other pictures. Hold on. Okay, I just took a screenshot. Okay, here. Now, here's another macro I just did. I actually missed the move, but if you see right here, it took out a low, it took out a high as well. Let me maximize this. This was about an hour ago. Okay, so if you look here, okay, so see that pink line right there? That's the macro. Okay, so you see right there, it took out a high. You see it took out that, I can't really draw right here, but you can see it took out that high right there, where that pink line is. And where it says space gap, you see that gray candle, the wick up there? It took out the high and then it came down. And nah, I'm not going to beat myself up, because if you can see right here, it took out a high. It filled in that gap, and then it took out the previous high. So that was the move right there. Let me screenshot this. This was the move right here with this macro. Okay. This is the move right here. The move was to wait for price to come down here and fill in this gap right here that you see, those two dotted lines, and then take out this high right here. And that's exactly what price did. Okay, that's exactly what it did. Let me go back to the picture. So if I move to the right, that's the move. So you have to wait for it to come down with the macros. And I'm about to end the video. Just want to draw this again. You have to wait for it to come down, okay? Because here's the macros. That's 650, okay? That pink line right there. Here's the gap right here. That's the gap right there. So I waited for price to come down. I bought. Well, I didn't take this move because I had to do something. But I was looking at this, but I missed the move. But basically, what I would have done is I would have went in long here all the way up to this high right there. That's the short scalping move right there. Okay, we find a fair value gap, which is this here, the green dotted lines. We wait for price to fill it in, which it did right here, and then we hold into the previous high. Okay, that's what I've been seeing consistent. All right, and so I'm not going to beat myself up too bad, because if you look here, this is exactly what price just did on the screenshot I just showed you. Okay, I didn't see price doing what it did. I followed the rules. I mean, here's the fair value gap right there. Here's the macro. It filled it in. It filled it in a little early right there, but it filled it in, came down to the order block, and the move is to the previous high. Boom. Thanks for watching.